Alright, so here is the Jackdaw. It is a Vtol style ship. It has two rotating dual rotor engines. We're running two gyros back here. I'm still currently working on getting these flaps to work in plane mode. They don't really do a whole lot, so I might need to do something to these. These wings flip out in plane mode. As you can see here, this is the profile of it in fast flight mode. So I think it ends up looking pretty cool. Ends up going pretty fast, and I probably should find a way to change the speed with some sort of adder and subtractor logic using the controller so that I can stay sitting in my seat and don't have to jump out of it, because that is very dangerous and it has thrown me out of the ship a few times, and that's not great. So this is using, I think, the only mods we have create, obviously. Drive-by-wire is doing some of the wiring here, and then we've got Clockwork, which is doing mostly these universal shafts and things like that, as well as the physics bearings here, which hold these. And we're using a faster rendering engine, or physics engine, so these kind of jumble around a lot. But if you're willing to take the performance hit, you can switch to a there's a few different physics engines here, and the zombie is getting in the way. Anyways, we're gonna take this for a little flight and see how it performs. So it should start taking off at 5. Oh yeah, right. Hang on. And then 6 is where it really picks up. So in helicopter mode, it has forward pitch as well as roll, and then Q and E function as our on-axis rotation. And for some reason, every once in a while they do exactly the same thing. It might be an issue to do with my rotor rotation, because I haven't really messed with that a whole lot. But honestly, this is perfect. While we're sort of just hovering here, I can hop back in here and sort of check out the engine. So back here we have 2 huge diesel engines. Oh yeah, and we're using crossroads as well. So there's 4 fluid tanks from crossroads back there, and then the fluid tubes that move the fluid without needing any rotational energy. I could build this in a way where it just uses create, but I didn't feel like it. There's also this, which is cool, and I need to actually mess with some more and get its control scheme into the ship. But pretty sweet. It lets me, or it will let me eventually. Oh yeah, that happens sometimes as well. It will eventually let me drop down to some stuff while staying in hovering mode, which is nice. Seems like it hovers pretty well at about 6 power. So let's try to pull this thing back up. We'll slip our gear shift on. And yeah, that's a slight problem. I need to put some sort of block up here so that we're not pulling past that. let's yeah. So we've been doing a little bit of hovering. Let's do some flying around. So obviously we've got our pitch forward, which works very well for movement in this hover mode. Sort of go around and okay. So this is another thing that happens. Is every once in a while those two get out of sync if I do too short of a pulse, which is unfortunate, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about that quite right now. I might be able to do something about it later if I do some more thinking on it, but for now, if they get out of sync, I have levers on their respective gear shifts, and I can kind of just go around and manually reset them, which is fine, because if I'm hovering, I've got all the time in the world. Oh yeah, by the way, the flight time on this thing, this holds at max 8 hours, 8 real-life hours of continuous flight fuel. And it's running on diesel. So that's pretty crazy. I think it has 64 buckets of storage in here because it's running 2 propellers per turbine here, which ends up being quite a lot of fuel. But you can see, you can sort of fly around here. I'm eventually going to be actually terraforming this entire top of the mountain here. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll do that. I've started a little bit on it. I've got a lot more to terraform eventually. But we'll sort of go and I'll sit down. We can do this. It's got some pretty good helicopter controls if you're actually sitting in the seat and aren't worried about falling out. But yeah, it's this thing's pretty awesome. It flies very well. It doesn't fly great. I'll show you in plane mode. It flies pretty quickly, but as you can see, it sort of veers to the right, and it really doesn't control well because of that tail. I'm not sure why the gyro is not particularly working. Like at all when it comes to pulling up, but it will at the very least allow me to like kind of pull up. We can get there a little bit faster by putting this in plane mode. As you can see, this thing gets going pretty quickly. Put in plane mode, and then you get to your destination, and you can kind of turn that off. So yeah, this thing's pretty dang sweet. I'm playing on a multiplayer server with some of my friends right now. We can go and take a little flyby, see what they're doing here. It looks like he's doing a lot of terraforming, which is pretty dope. I think he's maybe putting a tower or something in the center. Not quite sure. But yeah, as I get better at flying this thing too, obviously it'll be more useful to me, but there's a lot of quirks to sort of, yeah, work out here. And obviously a more reliable way to pull my nose up would be lovely. But anyways, yeah, let's take this back to my base, and we'll end this little showcase there. Put that in fly mode, and as you can see, like, yeah, we're absolutely flying, and this is at 10 out of 15. Like, I can really kick this thing up, and it goes fast. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving this thing so far, and we'll put this back, and yeah, and every once in a while it does that. It's a little fickle. That down to 6. Start our descent here. We'll try and turn around. Check on the front of my base here, actually, because probably haven't seen it. All right, here we are. Look at that. Pretty sweet. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot F1 is my drop bind because I have Q bound to some other stuff. Anyways, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. And we're gonna crash into this mushroom. Yeah. You know what? I think we'll just leave the little showcase there.